Good afternoon. Myself Uday Sarode, and today I am going to demonstrate you the next experiment in the course Electrical Machine 2. The title of the experiment is No Load and Block Rotor Test on Single Phase Induction Motor. Now, the induction motor that we are going to use in this experiment is the capacitor start induction motor. Let us see the circuit diagram for the no load test of single phase induction motor. So this is the circuit diagram for no load test on single phase induction motor. So we are going to take supply from single phase dimmerstat. Then initially it is given to 0 to 5 ampere ammeter. Then we have a wattmeter 10 ampere 300 volt connected. Thereafter it is given to the single phase capacitor start induction motor. So this is our single phase capacitor start induction motor. It is having two windings. This M1 M2 is the main winding and U1 U2 is the auxiliary winding of the induction motor. Then one capacitor is connected between C1 and C2, and then a centrifugal switch is there between terminals S1 and S2. Now this one more ammeter is connected in the return path. The purpose of connecting this ammeter is uh, initially when we give supply, then motor starts. At that time, initially this centrifugal switch always is in a closed position. So this closed position of the centrifugal switch can be detected by this particular ammeter. So this ammeter initially gives you some reading, and thereafter once motor takes 75 to 80% of its rated speed, then the centrifugal switch gets open. So that time this ammeter reads 0. So the reading in this ammeter initially shows us the close position of the centrifugal switch, and 0 position in the ammeter shows us the opening of the centrifugal switch. Now as per this particular circuit diagram, the connections are made here. So this is the setup for no load test on single phase induction motor. So this is our capacitor start single phase induction motor. Now we are taking supply from this dimmer. So as per the circuit diagram, this from this dimmer it is given to ammeter common. Then ammeter 5 ampere it is given to M terminal of the wattmeter. Then M and C of the wattmeter are shorted by this flexible wire, red wire. Then from L terminal of this wattmeter it is going to M1, that is the main or running winding of the induction motor. Then M1 U1, one link we are going to put here between M1 U1 so that both winding will be connected in parallel fashion as per the circuit diagram. Then from from U2, that is the second terminal of the auxiliary winding, it is connected to C1 as per the circuit diagram, of course. Then from C2 it is connected to S1, that is first terminal of the centrifugal switch. Then second terminal of centrifugal switch S2 will go to ammeter common, okay, in the return path. And from ammeter second terminal, two wires are going. One wire will go to M2, that is the second terminal of main winding, and second wire will go back to supply as a return path. Okay, so this is how the series connections are completed. Now for parallel path, the wattmeter pressure coil that is connected to 300 volt terminal. So this 300 volt terminal, okay, see this blue one, this 300 volt terminal we are going to connect to the return path again. So this blue wire is connected to return path, and finally across the dimmerstat, a voltmeter of 0 to 300 volt is connected with this blue and green wire across the dimmer. So this is how the connections for this no load test of single phase capacitor start induction motor is carried out. Now we'll see how this uh, experiment can be performed in this next part. Thank you.